Hello and welcome to Valerication Yoga. My name is Valerie. Today we are going to be taking moon salutations. These are a really nice way of welcoming moon cycles. Most of the time I offer them in classes for both the full moon and the new moon. During the time of this practice, we're getting into the new moon, which is when the moon is at its darkest, and it's a great time to build intention for your upcoming month. We don't do moon salutations often enough, I don't believe. So let's get started and I can show you how to do them. This one's a real nice, simple moon salutation for you today. You want to set up your mat so it's long-wise, so you can use both the ends of the mat as well as the long section of the mat. You'll want one block or two at either end of the mat. We're going to start facing the front of your mat. So you're at the front of your mat, coming into Tadasana. Reach the arms up and overhead. You're going to clasp your right wrist and just give it a little hook up and over. Stay for this breath. Come back to center. Hook your other wrist up and over. Stay for this breath. Coming back into center, you'll bring your arms down along your side. You're going to step your right foot back and turn to face the long edge of the mat. Toes point out, fingertips reach up for 5-pointed star. Then bring the hands through the heart and sink your hips down, coming into your goddess. The weight is in the heels in your goddess. Your shoulders are heavy, your hands planted together. Extend the legs, arms come down long, facing the back of your mat. You're turning your right toes to face forward and walking your left foot over, toes out to the left, hips facing forward for pyramid pose. We're going to tip forward over the legs. Walk your hands down the legs or maybe catch your block under your hands. Lifting up, guide the right hip back, the left hip forward. Pause here high. And then as you release, you can slowly let the head hang, soften the elbows, find equal weight into the foot. Inhale, we lift up, step back really far toward the top of your mat, bend into that left knee, you're bringing it down as you reach the arms up and overhead. You'll sink your hips forward, coming into that Anjaneyasana. Beautiful breath here. And then bringing your hands back down to your beautiful block here. You're going to tuck into your toes, lift the knee, turn the heel, and bring your right hand to the block, which is going to line the inseam of the foot. Straighten the leg or bend the knee, either one works. And we're going to reach that left arm up. So come into triangle, maybe it's more of an extended angle. Sweep the arm down, walk the hands along the long edge of your mat. You want your feet to be level, you're lifting halfway, and then slowly folding over the legs. Press into the feet as you're here. Inhale, lift. Turn the toes out, bend into the knee as you rock a little side to side for Skandasana. Feeling that movement in the body. Wonderful. And then walking your hands down toward the top of your mats. We'll set up for that triangle, bringing your hands underneath your block, reaching up, extending into the arm, maybe lifting up a little bit more if there's anything crunchy in the low back here. Coming back through to center. We'll come into that lunge, lift up that right heel, toes tracking forward, knee comes down, reach and lift. Hips shift, arms coming in line with the ears or slightly in front of. And then bringing your hands back down on one or both blocks. Tuck those toes, lift the hips, walk the foot forward and out. And here we find that pyramid lifting with the chest and then folding forward with the chest. Head is heavy. Inhale and lift up. Take that big step back with the right foot again. Coming into goddess, sink the hips, hands at the heart. And then extend and reach. Arms come down, step forward, Tadasana. Feet about hip distance, arms along the side. Beautiful breath in and out of the nose. Good. Reach the arms up and overhead. Got that left wrist up and over. Crescent pose. Take that breath. Back to center, other side, lift up and over. Back to center, other side, arms coming down. This time we'll step the left foot back. Come into that Come into that 5-pointed star. Hands come to heart, sinking the hips down. We have our goddess. Breathe deep and out. And then extending the legs. We'll take that turn toward the back of the mat, coming into pyramid, walking the right foot over and out, hips forward as you fold forward over your leg. Maybe you have blocks or one block or two under the hands. Left hip back, right hip forward, then fold. Getting a little bit warmer here, even though this is a cooler practice. Inhale to lift, take a big step back toward the back of your mat, turn your right toes forward and bring the knee down. Lift and reach. Hips forward as you reach, open heart space. Wonderful, bring your hands down. You're tucking into the toes, lifting the knee. Bring a block toward the inside of the foot. You'll reach up. Let's find that triangle pose. Pressing on up. And then come back into center. Turn the toes to face the long edge of the mat. Lifting the chest, breathing deeply. And folding forward into that wide-legged fold. Next inhale is a lift on up from here. You can take that skandasana, turning the toes out, rocking a little bit side to side. I'm using blocks. You can have your hands down on your mat too. And then we walk all the way over to the front of the mat. Set up for your triangle pose, reaching out, opening the heart space, reaching the right hand down the inside of the leg. And then turning the hips to face forward. Toes are forward. That left knee comes down as you reach up. Hips shift as you reach, shoulders relaxed. Hands come down to blocks. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee, and take a step up and over. So you're coming into that pyramid again, right hip back, left hip forward. Long in through the spine, and then fold over that leg. Inhale to lift all the way, step back with that left foot, facing the long edge of the mat again. Sink the hips, hands at the heart. And then extend and reach. Arms come down and step forward toward the top of the mat. Breathe in and out. Taking one more step, reach the arms. Hook the wrist up and over. Other side. Up, then over. Come back to center, let the arms come down. You take that big step back with your right foot, face the long edge of your mat. 5-pointed star and reach. Sinking the hips, hands at the heart. And extend the legs. This time we'll first set up for our triangle pose, turning your left toes to face the front of the mat. Reach the arms out and down. Breathing deeply here as you go. Nice, and then lifting up, turning the toes to face the front of your mat, coming into your pyramid. You'll release down, let your hands rest on blocks or the mat. Careful not to let that right hip open up. And then lift up the right foot, step it on back, bring the knee down and reach up. So a little bit faster this time than we did the first time around. Still thinking of this as being a cooling practice versus a heating practice of Surya Namaskar, which is the sun salutations. Bring your hands down to the inside of your left foot. Tuck your right toes and start to walk your hands along the sides of the mat. Come right into that bending side to side. This time as we come back to center, toes forward, fold forward. Maybe reach the arms back, interlace, draw them up away from you. Hug the arms in. Let the arms come down. We're going to start to walk our hands on over toward the front of the mat again. Bend into the back knee, reach the arms. Anjane Asana as you reach up. Hands come down, maybe on your blocks this time. Step up to your pyramid, hips facing forward. Folding over the leg if you choose. A little softness to the right knee. And then coming into that pyramid, right hand to the inside of the foot, opening up. You want that back foot parallel with now the front of your mat. Lift on up. Face the long edge of your mat. Reach to that five-pointed. Sink to goddess. Extend the legs and take that step forward to the top of your mat. Arms reach. Hands at the heart. Next side. Reaching the arms up, gentle tug on the wrist over to one direction, back to center, over to the opposite direction, and centered. Stepping your left foot out, facing the long edge of your mat, five-pointed star to goddess sink. Breathing deep. Extend the legs, facing the back of the mat for your triangle pose. Turning the feet, trusting the experience, and breathe. And then lifting on up from here. Turn to face the back of your mat in your pyramid, hips facing the back of the mat. Folding forward over the leg, maybe catching blocks here. And then lift up, step the right foot back, bring the knee down, and reach the arms up. Big, big breath. Hands come to the inside of your foot. Tuck those back toes, walk along the long edge of your mat, slide side to side here. Beautiful, pause in the center. Let's add a twist. Right hand down, reach the left arm up. Left arm down, reach the right arm up. Moving back to center. Walk your hands all the way to the top of your mat. Bringing the back knee down, we reach and lift. Bring the hands back down to blocks of your mats. Come into your pyramid pose. Legs are straight, hips are forward, fold. Knee into triangle, right hand to the inside of the right foot. We open up, nice long legs and arms. Press on up. Toes point out as you reach. Hands at heart as you sink. Deep breath. Extend the legs. Step toward the front of your space. Land into Tadasana. Breathing deeply in and out of the nose. We complete this with a reach up, a fold forward. Hands come down, step back. Knees down, together or wide. Sink the hips. Reach the arms forward, child's pose. Taking another breath. Walking your hands back up. Lifting up, hands at the lap or the heart space. And check in with yourself here. Feeling a moment of connection. Maybe this is a moment of meditation for you as you conclude the practice, or you could take a Shavasana for your rest. I hope you enjoyed your guidance through moon salutations, Chandra Namaskar, and I'll see you next time. I'm Valerie with Salutations Yoga.